Ever wondered what happens when a villain becomes the main character? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the wild, wacky, and downright dastardly tale of Richard III, a man who takes keeping it in the family a little too far. Our story kicks off with Richard of Gloucester, a guy who's got more ambition than a reality TV star at a reunion special. But here's the twist. He's also got a slight, let's say, hunch for mischief. Richard's first move? He decides to woo Lady Anne. Now, Anne's not exactly in the mood. After all, she's mourning her father-in-law, King Henry VI, who, oh, by the way, Richard had recently, helped shuffle off this mortal coil. But Richard's got game, folks. He lays it on thick, and before you know it, Anne's wedding bells are ringing louder than her alarm bells. So now he's got a new title and a shiny new wife. Next on his to-do list, let's get rid of some family members. Richard doesn't waste any time and engineers the imprisonment of his own brother, Clarence. Poor Clarence even has a spooky dream about drowning. Talk about foreshadowing. And sure enough, Richard's henchmen arrive, and let's just say, Clarence ends up taking the ultimate wine bath. Meanwhile, King Edward IV is not feeling so hot, and while he's laid up, Richard gets a promotion. He's now governing in Edward's place, along with some pals, Lord Hastings and the Duke of Buckingham. But here's where it gets juicy. 3 women, Margaret, Queen Elizabeth, and Richard's own mother, the Duchess of York, gather to mourn their sorry states and throw down some serious curses. Margaret, in particular, delivers a hex on Richard that would make any horror movie witch proud. Now, if you think things can't get worse, just wait. Richard's ambition is like that second slice of pizza. You know you shouldn't, but you just can't resist. Richard's next targets? His own nephews, the young Prince of Wales and his brother? Into the Tower of London they go. No bedtime stories here, just some hired help to smother them in their sleep. With the path clear, Richard crowns himself King Richard III. But wait, he's not done. Richard orders the execution of anyone who stands in his way, including his supposed ally, Lord Hastings. Even his wife Anne doesn't make the cut. She's off to make room for a new queen, none other than Elizabeth of York. But power's a fickle friend, and Richard's starting to notice that not everyone's as into his charm as he is. The Duke of Buckingham, feeling a little left out after being denied a promised earldom, raises an army against Richard. Unfortunately for Buckingham, Richard's still got some tricks up his sleeve, and Buckingham soon finds himself headless. But here comes the cavalry, literally. Henry Tudor, the Earl of Richmond, who's had enough of Richard's reign of terror. With an army backing him, Henry marches in to give Richard a piece of his mind. Well, a piece of his sword, really. The night before their epic showdown, Richard gets a little visit from the ghosts of all his victims, and they're not there to wish him sweet dreams. The next day, the Battle of Bosworth goes down in history. Richard fights valiantly, but in the end, it's curtains for our not-so-charming anti-hero. Richmond takes him down and becomes King Henry VII, and as the cherry on top, he marries Elizabeth of York, ending the Wars of the Roses with a neat little bow. As for Richard, well, let's just say he won't be needing that horse he was so desperate for. And that, my friends, is the whirlwind tale of Richard III by William Shakespeare. It's a story packed with more drama than a season finale, and enough dark humor to keep you grinning. If you don't mind a little murder and mayhem, that is. So, what's Richard III really about? It's a tale of unchecked ambition, the corrupting influence of power, and the lengths some will go to achieve their goals. But it's also a character study of a man who knows he's the villain and revels in it, turning the audience into willing accomplices as he plots his rise and eventual fall. Shakespeare's brilliance shines through in the way he crafts Richard as both despicable and strangely magnetic, making this play a must-read, or, if you're like me, a must-watch. So if you're in the mood for some medieval mischief, a bit of treachery, and a whole lot of Shakespearean drama, give Richard III a go. It's a roller coaster of a story, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Until next time, keep your crown straight and remember, absolute power might corrupt absolutely, but it sure makes for a great story.